Here we have the new 2022 GMC Yukon. And this one comes in the SLT trim level. And this one's gonna come in satin steel metallic on dark walnut slate perforated leather. And the powertrain consists of a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Just love that color on this Yukon though. As we get to the front end here, we have LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps and LED fog lights. And then down here we have 20-inch aluminum wheels. Get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then we have the controls for our power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, as well as our memory seats. Bose sound system. Headlamp controls, 4-wheel drive controls, etc. Electronic parking brake. And there's our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. So pretty good leg room here in the second row. I'm 6'3", and I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size. And I still have plenty of space back here. And there we have our rear AC controls. We can toggle the automatic mode as well. 2 USB-C charging ports, and a 3-prong household plug-in to plug in a laptop charger or something like that. Now I'm gonna hop in this third row to see the leg room. And my legs are a little bit up, but I could sit here if I needed to. So that's pretty cool that you can fit a bigger person back here. Doesn't have to be a small child necessarily. Then you have USB-C charging ports on either side of the third row seat. But now we're gonna go ahead and check out the back. So we have full LED tail lights here. And then we have our cargo space behind the third row. And with this one, if you wanna fold the seats, you just pull up here, and then those will fold flat, and then to pull it back up, you just pull on the string here, put it back into place. And here's our power front passenger seat with power lumbar support. Just gonna take a quick peek at that 5.3 liter under the hood. And there it is there. And now we're gonna go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So here we have a leather wrapped steering wheel. And then over here we have our all-new radio system running off Google Maps. So there's the navigation there. We get AM, FM, and XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And then we even have our Google News and Podcasts app there. And then of course we have our standard wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. And then we also have our dual zone automatic climate controls, which I'll show that down below with buttons, but we also have it on the screen here too. And then we have our shortcut there for Bluetooth. There's our backup camera there with guidelines. And as you turn the steering wheel, of course, they follow. And then our shifter, pull up for reverse, press down for neutral, pull up for drive, press down for low, and then you can toggle the shifts there. And there are those controls for the dual zone automatic climate. And then we also get 3-stage heated cooled seats for the front driver and the front passenger. Wireless charging pad for your phone, USB-C, and then the USB-A port there. 2 cup holders. There's our center console cubby space there, and you also have that removable tray that you can move back and forth if you want to. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And there's our glove compartment with owner's manuals. Little storage bin in here. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, we have our cruise controls, forward collision, gap adjust there. And then to the right side, we have our Bluetooth controls, and then we also have our gauge cluster controls here. And behind the steering wheel on the right side, we have volume control. And on the left side, we have track list or radio station control there. But getting back to the gauge cluster, we have that new all digital gauge cluster. So as I toggle my driving modes, you can see how it changes on that right side by the tachometer over there. So really like those graphics. And then of course you have your same functionality you had before, air filter life, speed, all of that, just plenty of options, and you can toggle more if you want to. And there's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob with remote start. But now we're gonna go ahead and take this 2022 GMC Yukon SLT out on the road for a quick test drive. So really good power from the 5.3 liter. And even though it isn't as beefy as a 6.2, it's still got plenty to accelerate. And even this base suspension, just the few bumps I've taken, is really nice, very smooth. I'm gonna put it into sport mode. And it definitely peps it up a little bit. I don't wanna rev it too high. But honestly, the normal mode is really good. It's what most people need, and it still has plenty of power. The sport mode kind of over-exaggerates in my opinion, but there are certain instances where that might be fun or where you might need it. But a really good ride coming down the interstate. And overall, I really like how this Yukon drives. It doesn't drive as big as it is. It really doesn't. And the gas pedal, brake pedal feel is just perfect for this kind of vehicle. Now this 5.3 liter, like I said, it still has plenty of power as opposed to the 6.2 liter, but the sound is not as beefy, but I still like how aggressive it sounds. Like, it still sounds like it belongs in a GMC Yukon, and I like that. And this Yukon is rated to get 14 miles per gallon in the city, 19 on the highway. And of course, that just depends what kind of city driving you do. Here in this area, there are a lot of, depending on where you go, areas where you can just cruise at like 45, 50 miles an hour. And as you can see, I'm getting 30 miles per gallon. But other areas, stop and go traffic, your gas mileage will suffer. Especially if your auto stop isn't attached, or if yours didn't come with it, or if it's off. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing I do wish that was available on the Yukon, because it already has more than enough power, is an eco mode, which you may see that in the coming years just as manufacturers start to be a little more economical. But I'd like to be able to get maybe 16 or 17 miles a gallon and have my throttle input limited. And so this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2022 GMC Yukon SLT.